Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video we have this 2015 Acura TLX and we're going to do the Taillight Tint installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before the installation and this is how it looks after the installation. So the tint has PPF properties, which means it will protect the lenses from yellowing over time, as well as protect it from any small scratches or any road debris that might hit the lens. If you like the product, link for the product will be down in the description below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So the tools you need in order to install the tint kit will be Slip Solution, Tack Solution, a heat gun, squeegee, and a microfiber towel. And a step-by-step guide in order to create the two solutions will be in the description below. Okay, so before we start with the installation, we want to make sure we prep the tail lights. So to prep the tail light, just apply Slip Solution. Make sure you apply Slip Solution all around the tail light. That way, with the clean microfiber towel, we're able to clean off any contaminants that it may have. So we want the tail lights to be clean in order to have a good installation. Okay, so we're going to start off with this lens first. So to start with the installation, apply Slip Solution onto the lens and Slip Solution to the tint as well. And with this one, you want to start by aligning it to this edge of the tail light first. So align it right there. So it's just going to be aligned right on the edge. The film is not going tucked in inside, so it's only meeting the edge here. So keep that in mind. And then when you have it on the edge here, make sure it's aligned on the bottom of the tail light as well. So we want it aligned here and underneath here. Now that we have it aligned on this section, we're just going to lift the film carefully and apply Tack Solution behind the film, hold it in place, and apply Tack Solution on top of the film. And then hold it in place with one hand, and with the other hand, start squeegeeing the film in order to remove and to tack down the film to this section here of the tail light. Okay, now that we have this section secured and you see that it's not moving, we can move on with the rest of the film. So now with this part, we are going to need to stretch the film to meet it to this edge and to the top edge of the inside here. So in order to stretch it, just remove the film only up to where we tacked it down. Once we have it there, apply Slip Solution, place it back down, and we're going to stretch the film until we meet both sections of the tint right on the edge here. So make sure this area is dry and stretch the film until you meet the edge here. Now that we have it there, remove the film slowly and apply Tack Solution. Make sure it's still in the position we need it to be. So if it moved, just stretch it back. Now that we have it there, with Tack Solution underneath now, start tacking this section down. And you are going to encounter a small finger here. This finger will bring it down once we apply Tack Solution and heat. That way it sits on this curve here. So for right now, just make sure that it's still aligned, because if it's not, then you're gonna have a bigger finger here. So make sure it's aligned right on the edge here. So now that it's right there aligned, tack it down. So now the finger's smaller than this, we can just tack it down with heat and Tack Solution now. So before we add heat and seal the whole edge of the tint, we need to make sure there's no water bubbles behind the film. And if there is, we need to remove them. So in order to remove them, apply Tack Solution. And the reason why we're applying Tack Solution is because we need our squeegee to glide perfectly without dragging the film. And that way we're able to remove any water bubbles. Now that we removed all the water bubbles behind the film, now it's time to add heat to remove any small fingers that are still coming up. So if you do see fingers, just apply Tack Solution and go around with the heat gun and your squeegee and a microfiber towel wrapped around it to tack down those fingers. Okay, so now we're moving on to this section of the tail light. So to start, same process as we did with this one. Apply Slip Solution and just start aligning it to this edge first. So align it right there. Okay, so once you have it aligned, we're going to tack it down. So lift the film carefully and apply Tack Solution. Hold it in place, that way it doesn't move while we're tacking it down. Start tacking down the film to the tail light. Going up, going down, and make sure you remove all the solution behind the film. Okay, now that we have this section down, make sure everything is still aligned. We do not need to stretch the film since it is a flat surface. All we need to just take care of is making sure this edge of the tint, we help it tack down to the curve. So first, let's remove all of the solution behind the film before we tack down this curve, because once we tack this section down, we're basically sealing the film. So first, remove all of the solution. So once you remove all of the solution, now we can start applying tack solution around the edge here. And with our heat gun and our squeegee and our microfiber towel, we can start sealing the edge. Wrap the microfiber towel around the squeegee so you can tack it down. Before we move on to the next piece, we need to make sure that the film isn't lifting. So once you finish tacking everything down, double check and see if the film is lifting, and if it's not, then it's completely sealed. And now we could continue on with the next install. And the film that we're installing here will overlap here, so that's why we need to make sure that this is completely tacked down. But since it's good to go, now we can move on with this last piece. So to start with this last piece, just apply slip solution on the lens and slip solution onto the tint and place it onto the tail light. And the first thing you're going to do is just align it to this edge here first. So once you have it aligned right on the edge here, we're going to tack it down. So apply tack solution underneath the film and on top, and we're tacking down a good amount, probably halfway up to here. That way with the rest of the film, we could just stretch and align it. So make sure everything's good here, everything's aligned, and now we could tack it down. So now that we have this section tacked down, now we're gonna work our way to this edge here. So as long as it's just aligned, it should be good. You don't need to require stretching here. Just make sure everything's aligned. So to tack this part down, just apply tack solution, keep it aligned, and tack it down. And now that we tacked down both these sections, now we could finish with installation by stretching this section to meet it to this edge of the tail light. Okay, so now we need to finish this section. So in order to finish it, we need to stretch it to meet this edge. So just apply slip solution, tack it back down, make sure this area is dry, that way you're able to stretch and have grip, because if it's wet, you might not have the best grip to stretch it. So dry this area and stretch the film until you meet it to the edge. So right around there, it's not gonna go inside of the tail light, it's just meeting it right on the edge right there. So lift the film just a bit to tack it down with tack solution, hold it in place. That way the tack solution starts activating the adhesive and it tacks down, and then tack it down with your squeegee. Okay, now that we have this tacked down, now we need to finish off tacking down these fingers here. So to tack them down, we just need to apply tack solution. And then once we finish applying tack solution, we squeegee at an angle. That way we don't accidentally crease the film if we do go straight towards the fingers. So go at an angle when squeegeeing the fingers. And if you see that the fingers are still popping up after you squeegee them down, just apply heat and tack solution, and this time the adhesive will activate faster and the fingers will tack down. So just apply tack solution, and then with heat and your squeegee, start tacking them down. So the last thing to do once you finish installing the whole tint is just post heating the whole film. That way the adhesive activates faster and the film sticks better to the tail light. So to post heat, just apply tack solution all around the film. And also especially on the areas where the film overlaps with another film and on the edges. And then with our heat gun and microfiber towel, just go all around and start post heating the film. Okay, so that concludes the installation video for the 2015 Acura TLX Taillight Tint installation. We hope that this video helped you guys out. If it did, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell. That way you don't miss any upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.